Welcome to another edition of God's Insight for the Soul, where we come together and just tap into the energy of a few of our participants and, well, all of our participants, but a few participants at a time. And today, we have one participant who is choosing to stay anonymous, so you will not see her on the screen. And then as soon as we are done giving insight to her specifically, again, Bridget and I will pull a card for each other, just so that there is never just a one-sided of any insight, right? As we pull out of our own story and tap into the insight for other people in the same energy, we get to be the observer and uh, and be able to embody that energy in a different way, outside of our own story. So, Bridget, I'm Lori. This is Bridget, and we both do intuitive coaching and healing and teaching and all of the fun things. So that's us. Let's get started, shall we? And Bridget, I feel like you are supposed to go first
Okay.
did yeah, for our person who is remaining anonymous.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Um, yeah, the couple of things that really first came up.
So sorry, Bridget,
Yeah.
what I should do is just kind of give you guys a rundown so that you can put things in perspective, because again, we want you to put yourself in this situation. So this person is moving away from home, away from everything that is familiar, um, going to do some schooling, and is just feeling very emotional about the transition. I think that's brief enough where they can get a feel for putting themselves in that situation for the feedback.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for that recap. But the first thing was this purge, and you even talked about it, getting rid of the things that you don't need to take with you. And such a beautiful expression of just how life works. Also, we tend to carry things with us energetically as well as materially. And to purge, spending this time with nature and sitting by your tree and purging all of these areas of your energetic self that have put you in a position to take on this beautiful experience and to sit with those pieces of you and say thank you for getting me this far, and I let you go so that I can welcome in the next steps that are coming, because the next steps are inevitable. And I feel like some of that purging and letting go and just the emotions that go with that. I love that you even said you're taking it slow in this time right before you leave, because there is so much love that you're pouring into yourself as you release these physical things. Your energetic self is releasing as well. And to simply allow the tears to come and flow. I got this real image of life force in everything that you were speaking. And again, I see it as these steps that you're going down are the next inevitable steps. And so this piece might feel uncomfortable because, yeah, you're leaving everything that your family, your friends, you're leaving all of them behind to go pursue this next thing. But that's also part of this life force that is flowing through you to the next step. It's the tears are part of it. Don't be afraid to allow those tears to fall. This whole process is simply part of life. I think sometimes we feel like maybe, oh, it's sad, that's why I cry, or I don't want to leave, that's why I cry, or this is hard and that's why I cry. But it's not. It's also just because this is the next step that you're going to. And so to allow those emotions to flow the way they are is building you for those next steps. Yeah.
I love it. And I'm so glad you went first because as you were talking, there's so many things that like started to ping. And the minute you said purging, I just saw the purging of who our familiar family sees us.
Mm,
And um I I love the picture of Jesus, how he went away and he started healing people and doing all kinds of amazing things. And then he came back to what was familiar. He came back to where he was born. He came back to the people who watched him grow up, and no one was healed. And I just see this as such a beautiful opportunity for you to shed who they think you are,
mhm,
who then you believe yourself to be. And you get to step into a space where nobody knows who you've been patterned to be. You get a clean slate. You get to show up and decide who you are, who God made you to be, who your truest self is. And you get to be that freely. And when the old familiar shows up, you get to let it go, right? And this is gets to be a practice of you becoming. And because it's easy to say, oh, just leave your old self here and step into your new self. Like, what a beautiful opportunity, a new year, a new space, a new energy, a new you, right? But to say, oh, I'm just going to leave this behind, easier said than done. So yes, that is our intention, and yes, that's where we put our focus. But then we recognize that old energy is going to show itself. Why? Because that's who you still believe yourself to be to a large degree. But this is where we get to choose self-command and decide, ooh, I'm feeling that old fear. Okay, I'm gonna do my work. I'm gonna do my sentient work. I'm gonna shift my nervous system into my choice. I want to say, for those of you who don't know Emfree, I'm going to use the word identity, but it's not its truest expression, the word identity, because our identity is love, everything else is role. But we think our identity is the role that we play on this planet. So, just for the sake of explanation, I'm going to use the word identity. Leave your old identity that you were programmed to be here. Step into the new identity that you choose. Who do you want to be? Who do you feel yourself to be at a core level? And go do that. And then when the old shows up, you do your sentient work, you do your nervous system reprogramming work, and you allow those old fears to be put to rest, and you energize that new you in a space where you are not affected by this old energy, right? I remember in Bruce Lipton's book, The Biology of Belief, he took cells because before Bruce Lipton did the Genome Project, science, medicine believed that a cell reproduces into itself, right? Which to a large degree is true, except for the way that they thought it was: a bone cell reproduces into a bone cell, a fat cell reproduces into a fat cell, a muscle cell reproduces into a muscle cell. But what Bruce Lipton realized in his study was that you could actually take three cells from the same parent cells, right? So if here's the parent cell, and they take three identical cells, and you put one in a petri dish surrounded by bone cells, and you put one into a petri dish surrounded by muscle cells, and one into a petri dish surrounded by fat cells, as it reproduces, it will shed the old parent cell expression and actually start to form and shape into what petri dish they're in. And so the good news behind that is you get to separate yourself from your parent cells. And I mean parent, grandparent, aunt, uncle, like this family orientation. And you get to actually put yourself into a petri dish surrounded by a new expression of who you get to become. But again, one cell splits, and then it splits again, and it splits again, and it might have taken I don't know how many, I'm going to make something up, but maybe 3 or 4 sheddings before it was mirroring the cells around it. So it's not like you get to just go jump in and poof, you become that. No, it's you shed it, you shed it, you have a new expression. You shed this, it's a new expression, right? And so, one, know that you can self command your attention. And two, the shedding is a process, right? Both are true simultaneously. And with the tears, and what Bridget said, that the tears aren't always like, oh, I'm sad, so I cry. Oh, I'm afraid, so I cry. But when she was talking about that, what I got was, and when you cry, it's shedding that old version of you, and you get to step into that next version of you. And then the tears are a cleansing, a shedding of that old version of you. And that doesn't mean we abandoned everything, just who we see ourselves to be. And we can hold on to the parts that we like, and we can let go of the parts that we don't like.
That
Anything
was
else with that,
beautiful.
Bridget?
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Good stuff. Okay, so now, person who will remain nameless, we encourage you to now just sit back and trust that whatever Bridget and Mai's cards are that we read for each other relate to you in this same situation. And you get to see it from the observer perspective outside of your own story, and just let what Bridget and I gave you personally, let it seep in deeper with the non-personal insight. You ready, Bridget?
Yes,
Okay. Do you want Alfred, Bernadette, or Cece?
Bernadette.
All right. All right. Here is the image. And it says the dream walker,
Mm.
dreams, the collective good, illusions. Give me just a minute to tap in. because it was really interesting because instantly I got, ooh, and this is how it relates to our participant. And I'm like, ooh, separate that and come back to how this is for Bridget. Yeah. So what I'm getting is like not I fall asleep dreams, but and not even like, oh, that's my dream. It's more like the illusion part of it and the dream part of it. And when they come together is where you get to play in your imagination. So
Mm,
um again, for those of you who are not familiar with the work that we do inside of Empowered Abundance, we talk about manifestation having four parts. um, uh, Intention, like, ooh, I want to do XYZ. Attention, now I give my attention to doing XYZ. Imagination, now by nature, I start to go into my head. So we'll use going to the grocery store as an example. I have the intention of going to the grocery store. I give my attention to getting in the car, to doing the thing, but my imagination is already going with the list, right? Okay, when I get there, I need to get corn and flour and soda and whatever. So my imagination is going, and what's being called for you in this is is give yourself command over that imagination, that illusion before it makes manifestation, right?
mm,
Because it is the step before sensation, right? If our imagination gets hijacked by our old fears or the old programming or what we've been or what we've been taught or what we think is true, then the sensation typically will line up with that, as opposed to commanding the imagination, the dreaming it up in your head, the illusion of what you desire, and then making that manifest, right? Because the middle part is the collective good, right?
mm,
And so recognizing that if you are good, you come from good, the universe is good, then your dreams and the illusion that you are creating becomes the coupling of the sensation, which then the manifestation of what you desire, as opposed to what you have been patterned or programmed for. So I feel like this is a lot around um, success in maybe your new adventure as you step out to do some new things in your business, right?
mm-hmm.
Allowing those dreams and illusions to not be hijacked by anything that's happened in the past, but to really command where your imagination goes.
Mm.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. All right. So, Bridget, for me, would you like to choose three, two, or one?
One, please.
Oh, and just because we didn't say it earlier, person who shall remain nameless, when we are done here and we're like, bye, if you could stay on after we end the recording, that would be awesome. All right, here is my card. And it says Council of Light, divine orchestration Helpers in the subtle realms. Dun, 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 dun.
So just with the card when you were showing it, and I love how this happens. So the card, there's a lot of people, but what I saw was a shadow directly behind them.
Mm,
And I wrote down shadow of love before you said whatever of light.
mm.
The what was that?
Council of Light.
Council of light. And because what I saw was, yes, you are never alone. You have this helpers surrounding at all time, just like you were just talking about. Like you are good, the core of you, that identity that doesn't falter, that love within you is good. The universe is good. And so, yes, all of these helpers around you, seen and unseen, are good, are driving that force, if you will, to more collective good. But the shadow of love that I saw behind that, that to me was God directly being like, yes, my child. You're right where you're supposed to be. You're
Mm,
doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And yes, when you need, there are all of these other light helpers to help lighten your path.
mm,
The helpers, I, what I wrote down was the subtlety in the helpers. Sometimes we don't always know, one, we don't always know when we need help or that we need help. And yet, God doesn't waste anything. So everything is helping us along our path, whether we
mm.
recognize it or not. And that's how I was taking these subtle helpers are all around, all the time. You're never alone, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Hmm. Yeah. So, if this sounds fun for you, and I love when we have the example of people coming on and deciding to stay anonymous, because a lot of times people come on and they're willing to be on camera. And sometimes people are like, no, I'm not willing to be on camera, but I really want some insight. So I love that both are available. And I love that yeah, just the allowance for how God moves through all of us, and seen or unseen, it is still just as valuable and valid, right? And so I appreciate this example so much. If you guys would like to come on and play with us, in the description of this video will be a link to sign up and jump on one of these. And yeah, Bridget, anything else?
I think that's it. Yeah. Until
All
next
right.
time.
Well, until next time, see you later.